That didn't work out so well. Hi there. I figured tonight we're just going to jump straight in and go with something that is very controversial. Everybody likes their steak done differently, but I figure tonight I'll do it my way. I have a nice flank steak prepared for tonight and potatoes and broccoli to go with it. And really the first thing that we need to do is get a little bit of, I'm using grapeseed oil in the pan, just a good high smoke point oil. Just about any of them will do. A really light olive oil, peanut oil, avocado oil if you can get it. Hopefully the audio is working tonight. I haven't really, I tested it to see if it worked, and it worked this morning, so we'll give it a shot. First thing to do is to get the cast iron pan up to a really high heat. It's going to take just a minute. I've already taken the time to let my flank steak come up to room temperature. And I did it between a couple of paper towels, so that way the outside surface was really dry. Then I put some kosher salt and fresh ground black pepper on one side. I pre-cooked the Yukon Gold potato in microwave or the oven until it's reasonably soft, just to kind of get it started. And I've quartered some broccoli and drizzled them with olive oil and salted and peppered them. I've also prepared a few pats of butter to get it started. And that means that once we get going, everything should move pretty quickly. I'm going to grab a good pot holder just in case the handle on the pan gets hot. Also have my tongs ready for flipping steak. With a really thick steak, I would normally put it in the oven to bring it up to a rare to medium rare, but in this particular case, this flank steak is pretty thin, so I don't think I'm going to need the oven, so we're just going to cook it straight on the stovetop and see how it goes. If you're really crazy about it, you can always check the temperature with the temperature gun and see how we're doing. Right now we're at about 392 degrees. I think I'd like to get it up a bit warmer than that, although we are starting to see some smoke off of here. Really, the hotter the better in this case. I think we're hitting the smoke point of that grapeseed oil, so go ahead and get the steak going. Good sizzle when I get that down. Go ahead and salt the other side of the steak while it's cooking. Add a good amount of black pepper. I like my steaks very peppery. And I can go ahead and get my resting apparatus prepared. Once we pull the steak off, it's going to need to rest for a few minutes. So we'll elevate it up off the plate, catch the drippings on the plate. and then we'll be able to use those drippings. When I'm getting close to done with the steak, I'll go ahead and put the broccoli in, because those will take a little bit longer than the potatoes, since the potatoes are already mostly cooked. Really, with the steak, once it's on, you just don't want to touch it. Just let it do its thing. Rocking the pan around a little bit just to get the hot oil kind of mixed around a bit, but I want to see some good color on that steak before I flip it over, so there's really not much to do. Going to crack a couple of windows because it could get a little smoky in here. Probably not too bad though. I'm cooking this on a medium-high heat. You can crank it all the way up, but that tends to have more issues with the oil. So, like I said before, this is a pretty thin steak, so I'm going to go ahead and flip it now. I like my steak medium rare, so I'm going to go ahead and let that cook a bit. Mix some of that oil around again. Now that I've flipped it, I'm going to go ahead and toss a pat of butter right on top and just kind of let that melt into the steak as it works its way through. And as I said, I'm going to go ahead and add my broccoli in here now. Doing this all in one pan. That broccoli, as I said before, has been drizzled with olive oil, and I've sprinkled some salt on it. I'll go down a little bit of pepper to it as well, just for fun. At this point, the name of the game is just waiting. I guess that camera looks a little steamy. A lot of that's from the water that I had in the broccoli when I rinsed it. Broccoli is going to get blackened up pretty quick. And the way I like my broccoli when I'm grilling it like this is I don't like mushy broccoli. So I'll kind of just let it get kind of blackened on the outside, on all the sides as much as I can. And then just enjoy it with just a little bit of crunch in the middle. Work some of this butter in here a little bit. Butter's getting quite soft, and I think that steak is getting close to where I'd like to see it. It's going to take a couple more minutes here. I'll go ahead and get this broccoli flipped around a little more. All I did with the broccoli is I took a head of broccoli and I quartered it. Yeah, that steak's looking really good at this point. it's been, we go ahead and pull that off and set it over to rest. And in the meantime, I'm going to add a couple more pats of butter in here and turn the temperature down. And I just want to set this potato halves right on top of that. I'm just going to let those saute in the butter. And I'm going to add a little more butter for the broccoli. At this point, there's plenty of residual heat in the cast iron to finish everything I need to do. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off. Kind of move this broccoli around in the butter, soak up what I put in there, and I can work on plating it. I'm going to plate a little bit messy here. Just take a second to clean that up. Got smokier in here than I thought, but these potatoes are done. Nice and blackened. If I don't set off the smoke alarm, we'll be doing good. Just drizzle the leftover butter in the pan right onto the steak. And it's rested for a couple of minutes, so it should be ready to cut. I'm just going to grab a cutting board. Pull out a knife. I'm going to cut it on a pretty steep biased angle here. And it looks like we have a nice medium rare steak. I'll go ahead and get that all plated up here. Drizzle the drippings right back onto the steak. And that's it. As soon as the smoke clears from my house, I will be able to eat. Just a little bit of plate cleanup. Alright. Normally it wouldn't be this smoky, but I'm not running the vents because I didn't want the noise to interrupt, so. Alright. Pictures and videos will be posted on the website soon. jasonsplate.com. Thanks for watching.